left hand is too slow. Wow, it's 15 minutes. Exactly. I'll play this a little bit. Am I forgetting that already? Oh wow, that's a lot of messages. I'm just gonna talk. Maybe I'll stick around for the whole thing. Yeah, it's been basically 15 minutes now. I've got the song I need to finish by the time I get to sleep because of a contest deadline. Ooh, contest. That sounds fun. Oh yeah, I saw you sent me a couple of things on Discord. I just haven't had a chance to look at them really. But I'm a little burnt out from 7 consecutive hours of working on it. Yeah. But that's always the funnest, is when you could you get so locked into something, you just forget eating, you forget sleeping, and you just keep going until it's done. Honestly, I love that. I haven't gotten to really be inspired to do something like that in, I think, a couple of years, I want to say. Maybe a year. Which is kind of sad, because I loved it when that happened. Obviously, it's kind of tiring spending 7 or 8 hours on one thing without taking a break. But I did like the fact that I used to be able to do that. But you kind of have to be super inspired in some way. At least I do, to work that long. But it's going to be awesome. Not sure about my chances of winning, but I'll definitely have something to be proud of. Yeah, that's the spirit. Yeah, it's kind of how you always have to approach those. On the main channel, I did a couple Charles Bertude. I think it's Bertude. I've watched a lot of his videos and I still don't know how to say his name. But I did a lot of his contests that he'd do on his channel for a bass. Because I was back when I really wanted a bass and I didn't have one. Because I had no money. Now I bought my own bass, so that's nice. But I really wanted to learn the bass. And so, to me, I was just well, the only way I can learn how to play the bass is if I win one of his competitions and get a bass. But I didn't expect to win the competition, but the thing I made was still something I'm like, yeah, this is super cool. I'd just be happy if he watched it at all. So yeah, and I'm happy the fact that I did it at all. So yeah, that's how you have to approach competitions. And do you play chords after a scale to get the next scale in your ear, or are you just messing around in between? It's kind of a little bit of both. For me, it's like, um, it's a little bit of both. It's kind of like for me, it's like a little reset. Because if you're just like scale, 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 if you have even like slightly off technique, you can start building bad tension, and that can be bad for your wrists. And I'm pretty solidly in intermediate territory, at least with my scales. So it's really dangerous to just keep pushing forward and ignoring even the smallest issues in technique. So for me, playing a chord in between, it's just it just kind of sounds nice, but it's also to give my hands a nice break for a second, kind of reset, make sure I'm not just powering through the wrong technique. So that's why I basically I've bumped it up 4 BPM from what I was doing before. But that's why I'm not really, when I practice scales, I don't change my tempo, because my goal right now is not getting faster. My goal is to, at this one tempo at 90 BPM is what it's at, is just have like perfect technique. That's my goal. And so I keep playing the scales basically the same way each time, because I can still feel that my technique is not perfect. And that's honestly, that's the thing I'm passionate about right now, is just getting my technique down perfect before I move on. Versus like, I mean, if I was passionate about going faster, I'd probably go faster. But yeah, the chords in between are kind of like a nice reset, helps me reset my technique, and it is just kind of mess around, because it keeps me interested in the scales. Because even though, like, I don't know if you'd call it masochistic, but I'm a little bit masochistic. I mean that sort of as a joke, because like most people don't like scales, but I actually kind of really like scales, and most people think that's weird. But they're still kind of boring to me. So if I just did the scales just perfectly the way you do scales every single time, I'd get kind of bored. So the in-between stuff I do that's just kind of random and spontaneous is just to kind of keep me interested. So yeah, that's why. And yeah, I guess it kind of puts my ear in the sound of the scale. Oh, so many more messages. Okay. Oh, I also hardly noticed, but we're totally at a full month back with the practice streams, huh? 31 days. Oh, yeah. We're at 31 days. It's kind of weird because I skip Sundays, and not every month has 31 days. So it's just kind of like, I mean, I guess that's pretty accurate. There's been 5 Sundays now I haven't played. But it's not like after the first month the number's going to line up with the day anyways. So ironically, I was just talking about giving your hands a rest, but for me, Sunday, I mean, and because I'm a Christian too, but it just logically makes sense to me, just like take a break on Sunday. I still play piano on Sunday, but I don't track the time I spend on it. I don't log my practice or anything, just to give myself like a mental break, just a rest, kind of reset for the week. And I think rest is really important when learning a skill, because it gives me something to look forward throughout the week. If I'm just having like a really rough week and I really hate it, then knowing that I'm not going to practice on Sunday, or I'm not forcing myself to practice on Sunday, I might still play the piano, but it's only if I want to. That's like something to look forward to. So I don't know why I got on that. Oh, you said 31 days. Yeah, we're at 31 days. Woo! Your next message. You're the one that's always on about self-diligence. I cannot read. Where are my glasses at? Just sit down and force something to come out. I didn't start working on this song until like these last 30 hours before the deadline. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it do be like that, though. To be honest, that's kind of how I work most of the time, too. Especially when I was in school. That's what I did every time. I'm not proud of it, but that's basically what I did. You should enter the next contest these guys host. Yeah, you'll have to tell me more about that sometime. I'm not like, I don't do a lot of like composing, but it could be something fun to do. I'm not against it. I mean, like sheet music composing, I'm not hugely into. But yeah, it could be interesting. I'm kind of, because I'm like intermediate sort of on piano, not even in all the areas, just like a couple areas on piano. And in general in music, I guess my ear would be intermediate, but I'm not at a place where I can say this for sure is like the thing I really like doing. It's like I'm still in the experimenting, looking into different genres and things like that. I mean, there are a couple things I'm like, yeah, for sure this. Like, for sure I like jazz. For sure I like J-pop. I like rock too. But in terms of like how those mix to then into what music I want to make, I'm not exactly sure yet. So I haven't locked myself down. I don't think I'll ever lock myself down into I make X music or whatever. So I think that's just kind of sad. Because then it's sort of like accepting, oh, I just don't learn as much anymore. So I think it's more fun to say like, oh, I like experimenting with any genre, because then you're always learning, instead of locking yourself down into this is just what I do. Anyways, I literally thought I had like 7 hours until the deadline earlier today. Turns out I have like 10 hours still. Oh, nice. And so I just sat down and started working on a sketch from my voice memos last week. Nice. Yeah, that's been helpful for me too. Sometimes I'd be like, oh no, this thing is due at this time, or it's like, it's due tomorrow, no. And then I get a bunch of it done, turns out it's not due tomorrow, and then it's like, oh, okay, well that's nice. I accidentally didn't procrastinate. But yeah, that's actually what I did with, or sort of what I did with one of the competitions I tried to enter in, but I ended up entering late, so it didn't count. I was one of the, you can see it on my channel, it's the second Charles Berthoud competition thing. And then he had another one recently, and then I didn't even post anything with that. I tried learning it. That was when I actually had access to a bass, but I didn't learn it in time. So, oh well, it happens. It's always fun though when you're met with a deadline, and then you're like, oh, I don't know if I can make it, and then you're just like, no, lock in, and then you feel like a superhero by the time you get it done, like a minute before it's due, and then you're like, wow, that was so cool. It was stressful, but it was cool that I got it done. It's a weird experience. It's like you tell yourself, you're like, I definitely didn't want to be that stressed, but it did kind of feel cool getting all that done in that short amount of time. But anyway, not to drag this out too much more, two last things. Oh yeah, beware my yapping tendencies. That's why I had to put on the stream no talking, only practicing, because I'll just talk forever. It's just what I do, I guess. Hey, you listened to the album yet? The Passacaglia. It's too good, man. Yeah, I listened to it. I think I listened to it while playing Minecraft. I was Hypixel. So, which is like typically, I know it sounds funny, but that's typically how I'd listen to music when I listen to full albums. Is just I do something else while listening to it. Sometimes when I'm like really invested in an album, I'll just sit in the dark and listen to it. But from what I paid attention to, I thought it was really cool. Not super my thing, because it was like jazz classical sort of. But I definitely have a big appreciation for that kind of stuff, and I thought it was really interesting. So yeah, I liked it. It was cool. I'll probably listen to it again because it's one of those albums where it was interesting enough that I'd be like, yeah, I'd listen to that again. So whatever that says. I think the fact that I would listen to it again means that it was pretty good. Maybe not while playing Minecraft the second time. You said two last things, so I'll wait a little longer and then. Oh, okay. That contest is fairly serious, if I'm being honest. It's paid entry. Oh, €70. So that's like, I think it's like 90 USD. That's pretty expensive, actually. But the point is that you get judge feedback even if you don't place. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a great experience. Yeah, I'm kind of strapped for cash right now, so I probably am not going to do a competition like that anytime soon, but definitely at some point I would want to do that. Because judge feedback is super important because it's one of those things where people with more experience tell you where you could improve, and then you just the small one or two things that they say can be like hundreds of hours of practicing and getting better. Just simply with a little bit of guidance and a lot of practice is how you get better. It's a contest for people interested in composing for games or movies, and so they give you notes about that. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so that might actually be more what I would be interested in. I thought it was more like a classical heavy traditional kind of composing thing. They give you a game / short film and a brief. You make a 4 to 5 minute demo. Oh, yeah, that's actually really cool. One of the things I super love about music is you take a visual representation and then you think of like the emotions and like how to portray that in the music. That's something I've always been interested in, like so much so that I actually really want to learn animation. Not because like I'm ultra passionate about animation, but because I'm ultra passionate about visuals going with music. So whatever the visuals are, it's just something that's always been interesting to me. Is like, even if I was like really bad at animating, but I could just do something that at least looked decent. And no, I'm not going to use AI because it just makes everything so cheap to use AI. But anyways, if I could just animate a little bit and then make cool music to it, that would be like golden. So that's why I actually want to learn animation. Right now, I'm finishing the short film contest, which initially I thought was going to be lame because a lot of film music is samey, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's kind of something I've learned about film music, is that when you're listening to it with the movie, you're not really thinking about the music. But if you listen to the music separately, then you're like, oh, that's actually really cool. I didn't notice that before. Because it more just gets into your like subconscious. So, and there's a lot of same kind of tools and stuff that film composers use to get like the same emotion. But the game contest I'm really excited for. Last year's entries were awesome. I'll send you the page. Yeah, definitely send that to me. The stream says there's 4 people watching. Who's watching? Now I feel bad ending the stream, but I am gonna end it soon because my goal was just practicing. I got my 15 minutes in, but it's so sad. There's 4 people watching, and I wish I could talk more, but I'll stream more on my main channel, and maybe I'll have, maybe people will watch it if y'all want. I don't know. But yeah, it's just the 15 minutes today. So I'm assuming, Mystery, that was the last of what you wanted to say. So that's about it, yeah. Alright. Boom. There we go. Alright. See ya. Bye-bye. Oh, that's the intro song for Good Mythical Morning. If you can be on Discord tomorrow, it'd be cool. I can show you the finished entry and maybe talk other stuff. Yeah. If I remember, I'll check Discord. Anyways, bye-bye.